Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do. Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do. Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do. Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do. Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do. Don't give a fuck.
This episode is brought to you by #Originators and is smoker certified.
What up to all the originals out there? It's your boy D Smith, aka Fuck D Smith. He ain't shit.
And your boy AT from out east. #Originators coming at you one more time with the green edition, baby. Light it up.
You know what it is. It's your favorite pack of rolling papers.
Roll it up, baby. Roll it up. Whatever you're going to call it tonight. You're going to call it Kush, weed, pot, Mary Jane, whatever you want to consider it.
Sweet Chiba.
Sweet Chiba, Sunny Chiba, whatever kind of Chiba you want. Indonesia, whatever it is. We here, #Originators. This episode is dedicated to that plant that's in Ohio right now.
Smoke it up.
Smoking it up, Cheech and Chong style, baby.
First of all, though, we're going to talk about the issue at hand, which is issue 2.
And what is issue 2?
Yeah, basically, that's what this episode is going to be.
Okay, now, so what's really going down with this is, here in Ohio, Ohioans, we can possess 2.5 ounces of marijuana.
Okay, so
legally.
I mean, that's not bad. 2 point.
I don't know how much is that?
Roughly about, I say
ounces?
It's a good 20 bag, maybe a quarter, what we would call that.
Okay, that'd be kind of equivalent to that.
Something like a quarter, yeah.
Possession, right? And you can grow up to 6 plants per person in your house.
Yeah.
12 as far as a household.
Max,
12 household.
Yeah,
that's as of now. The legislatures and all that stuff, the people, the lawmakers, they got to go in and do their little thing. But as of now, that's what we've been hearing.
Yeah, that's not bad either. Because 12 plants,
is that quite a
12
bit?
plants, man. I can make some butter. I can do some stuff, man. I can cook with that, smoke with that, man.
Is this thing? Pardon my ignorance, but I wonder, is this like 12 plants a year? This is yearly. Is this weed quarterly? Is this like?
Well, listen, unless this is how this works, right? Because at one point in time, if you grew in your house and if your electric spiked, that's how they was caught on to where if you was growing.
Oh, okay.
So right now, by it being legal, you can grow those plants. You can
have them forever. How long?
You can grow all year long now if you take your plants from outside and bring them in. Because take this into consideration.
Nice. See, I didn't know that.
Listen, take this into consideration. Most people, when they grow their plants, after they harvest them, they cut the whole stalk down. But if you think about it, it's just a plant. It's going to keep growing. It's a weed, right? So you can just snap your buds off. Had that one plant. If you have a plant in your house, if she starts sprouting buds, you can pop a bud off her, dry that bud out, and just smoke that bud. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to grow, continuously grow.
It's a weed, right? It's a plant.
It's a plant. As long as you prune it right into it, she'll grow and she'll grow and she'll grow and she'll.
I just didn't know. Was there like a they say 6 per person, 12 per household? I don't know. Was that yearly? Was that like if they busted your house and they found that amount, would you be safe?
Yeah.
Like if they barged up in your place.
Let me tell you something about it.
Like Miami Vice. And it's some
Crockett and Tubbs busting.
Right? And they saw, they be like, okay, you safe. You got 11 plants, you good.
The crazy thing about that, I went before this law, before issue 2 was even a thing, some years ago, like early 2000s, I had some police officers come to my door, knock on my door. I was standing over in Black Lake, matter of fact, and they came knocked on my door. It was like, we had a call that we was growing weed out here. Okay, what happened? Long story short, I was rolling a blunt one day, threw a seed into my plant pot out front, and I had these little straggly cats to come and poop in this plant pot. It's a big plant pot. They pooped in there. The plant started growing. It did smell like weed, but the plant didn't sprout any buds, so it wasn't illegal. Like the cop was like, "Yo, I smell weed," and he even touched the plant. His finger. He was like, "Yo, it smells like weed." He's like, "Well, we can't do anything about it because it has no buds on it. It's just a plant." He says, "Literally, it's vegetation." So before this issue 2 was a thing, if you had weed plants in your house, if it didn't sprout buds, you was good. That's that.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, also we want to go to, now this right here is a pretty validating one right here. This is we actually mentioned about, possession charges and things like that. There is going to be a process of immediate expungement of possession convictions upon request. So you can request that your priors, be removed, be completely expunged. Like, who's going to turn that down? Who's going to be like, nah, man, I want to live the rest of my life with priors. I want to live with that on my record. Yes, of course.
25 years.
Right. Of course, people are going to request getting that completely wiped away. I would, of course.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to be a
idiot to be like, well, I want to just keep that on my record and let that affect my employment and housing.
I think that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, expungement, right. Yeah,
that's
because
totally fair.
Everything that happened up to this point, I feel like was, it was a lesson. Like, we learned from the past, locking these people up for marijuana offenses. Now people are starting to see, it's not that bad of a problem. It's not that big of an issue.
Yeah,
we had to go through that to arrive to this moment and look at it. You had, like I think I mentioned earlier, or at some point where, you had some people who I think were pretty good, well-meaning people, but if you had some weed on you, you got criminalized. And that's BS in my opinion. I mean, there's other things you can be getting people on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's, what, that's
there's
real.
Far more things you can be getting people on.
It's some violent people out here, so you could have got.
Yeah, you could be going for those violent felons and criminals, right? But you're going to pull me over for a baggie and then maybe put something on my record and So yeah, upon request. Now Ohio, this is pretty much a no-brainer one, but I had to throw it out anyway. Ohioans can't take marijuana across state lines. That is considered trafficking. So
well, listen, if you know your laws, you know this. You can't take a pack of cigarettes across state lines. So look at it just like that, all right? If you got some cigarettes in Ohio and went to Kentucky, you will go to federal prison and vice versa. It is a federal law to cross state lines with cigarettes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, next time you buy some cigarettes, look at the bottom of your cigarettes. It has a stamp of Ohio. And next time you go out of town, buy your cigarettes there that had a stamp or something of that state. So just think of it like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, D. Smith for office.
Hey,
we need a real man like D. Smith in office.
D. Smith 2027. City Council. Running, damn it. Mouth chair.
Running things.
Running things.
I mean, those are valid points, though. Yes, that is. Those are valid points.
But just know what you're doing.
Know
man.
what you're doing. And there's no harm. There's no harm in learning the laws. There's no harm in that.
You have to. That's that smoker's cough.
Smoker certified. Okay.
Right there. But listen to me, y'all. What I'm saying is, if you know your laws, they can't trick you up. If you know your laws, you know what you can and can't do. You won't look stupid when the shit hits the fan. That's pretty much what we're trying to tell y'all, all the originators out there. You know what I mean? We're trying to put y'all up on game. So go ahead and get that, because this game should be sold, not told. You know what I'm talking about?
Taxes on it, the taxes actually are going to increase from 10 to 15%. At first, they proposed the 10%. They're bumping it up to 15. So, I don't know how much that's going to affect, you smokers out there. I don't know if that's going to be a pain in the neck, but yeah, they're going to increase that.
Pain in the neck for me, because like I said, listen, I'm not paying nobody's 15% tax on no flour, because I know my guy around the way to do his thing. Now, on some edibles, maybe something like that, yeah, all right, whatever, because a lot of edibles you can't get on. Well, you could get some edibles on the street, but here's the difference, what I'm saying about it. You go on the street, get your edibles.
I don't think I would trust it on the street.
But I don't know. Listen, man. D. Smith has not always...
Would it be laced or would it... I don't know, man.
D. Smith has not always been the man he is today. What I'm saying is, I know some people that done some things, and I've ate some edibles that put me on my ass. My DICK, the dessert. But I'm saying, at the end of the day, if you go to a dispensary and say yo, you get some edibles, and say yo, I have no appetite. Well, they give you these suckers, and now you want to eat the whole house and come over here and eat everything in my house too, or you can't sleep, so they give you these brownies, and now you sleeping your face off, or they give you this little juice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you get with a dispensary, you know what you're getting. Whereas
on the street,
it's just
you may not know.
Your man's in them is just like, hey man, this is shit, it's just that shit, man. And it's like, Also,
I see where you're coming from.
Also, to all the originals out there, if you're taking edibles, know what you're doing. Don't dose yourself, microdose yourself.
Just kind of take it easy, y'all. No doubt. But also, too, lawmakers are still hashing out how long it's going to take for Ohioans to be able to buy from dispensaries. That's another thing. It's not like the dispensaries are selling right now.
Oh, wait. No, listen.
Unless something changed within the past.
Well, listen. I don't know how all the originals out there. If you can go online somehow and do something to get 1-2, the little crossover, about for $150 and get your medical card, and you can't go into the dispensary right now and get your Joan. You know what I'm talking about? So before this issue 2, you could. I don't know, but I've heard some things. But about $150. You can get your medical card, and you can go. You understand me? So, yeah.
So that's an option if you want to do that. But if you don't have the medical card, some lawmakers want sales to go into effect immediately, while others want up to 90 days or even 9 months for when the bill first passed. And these facts were brought to me and brought to you, rather, by WLWT, WBNS, and NBC4.
Have a whole baby by the time that long passed. 9 months.
Yep. NBC4 rather. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, so that's the thing about it. So, get a medical card. I'm pretty sure you can get them right away. But for those people who just strictly want to just slide through and just buy some, they're still deliberating on how long all this stuff is going to take.
Man, I would say overall, like I said,
9 months is a long time. Yeah, 9 months would be
a long time. And I'm not. Listen, man. I'm not condoning any kind of criminal activity. But
don't.
If you know somebody who knows somebody that can get some of that thing for you, you can get your issue 2 to you. Do your thug thizzle, understand me? But in the same note, man.
Yeah, we don't want to put that out there. We want,
I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble.
To use your own discretion about things.
I ain't saying go black market this shit, but
because see, that's what they're afraid of. Mike DeWine's afraid of.
But here this go.
Black market. He's afraid of that same thing. So,
and I get it. You're afraid of the black market, but here's what's crazy. The black market is going to be there no matter what. Look at it like this. The internet is all over the place, and the black market is huge. You can go on the internet right now and search anything and probably get it to your house before the cops.
There's always been black marketing and bootlegging, though. That's the thing about it.
Bootlegging is
until the government finds a way to regulate it. Until they find a way to make money off of it. Yeah, you always want to have the dark web. You always want to have those things, but they want to bring it under more of a legal umbrella, but we'll see how it plays out. Because like you said, there's always going to be sellers. You always want to have sellers.
It comes under that weird thing like this. Like listen to all the originals out there, them youngins who don't understand what I'm about to say is this. Me and AT come from an era where bootlegging, aka the black market, you would get beat up if you bootlegged even music or a movie. Someone saying I
forgot about that. There was a bootleg. There was a music industry at one point.
One time you would go any African you knew
had the bootleg joints.
The newest joint that just dropped.
The newest album
had that album, and you knew it was bootleg because the words kind of like smeared off and it was crooked, and the pamphlet like the CD cover was just a picture, but you couldn't read the credits. It was like some cheap
blurry or something.
And then sometimes you be listening to the song, and then you're in the middle of the song, you hear somebody yelling and screaming or talking, then the song will cut back on. Listen, those guys used to get beat up. You see what I'm saying? So black markets was always going to be here. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure back in caveman time, somebody was selling dinosaur toenail clippings. Black market is here. It's going to be here. That's what it is. So they worry about something. That ain't nothing. Understand me?
Say, nigga, you want a triceratops bone? I got a bone here, Danny.
Triceratops. What? Pterodactyl?
You was a triceratops high tops.
He said, I got the pterodactyl knee tops right now. The T-Rex coming in next week. What you talking about? Like, what? Caveman John got everything. He said he got the gold coming out in the Nile River next week off the coconut boat. Damn, Caveman John. But I'm saying at the end of it, it should still be put on the same scale as alcohol, as far as sale. But that saying that, segue to the next topic. Do you think issue 2 is long overdue?
How do you guys feel about that?
I think,
once again, all our originals and listeners out there, you can also always drop comments down below. Let us know how you feel. Do you think it's long overdue?
I personally, I think it's long overdue. I mean, I think every state should have this law because every state sells alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about a couple episodes back. they're drinking responsibly or whatever, smoking responsibly, same thing. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, it should be, if it's going to be legal, it should be the same way you buy a beer or you buy alcohol. Because because the dispensaries are going to be able to regulate how much you can buy. Just like you can go to a liquor store, you can buy X amount of bottles of whatever liquor you like. But then that one day you go in there and buy that 5 bottles of that vodka you want, whatever. They might be like, no, we only have a 2-bottle minimum per person. And within their rights, they can do that.
Mm-hmm. Especially when the government gets involved, they're definitely going to start putting caps on a lot of things.
Yeah. So it's like they have their hand in it, so they can control it more. Which I mean, I guess in some weird way it needs to be controlled. Do I don't know, man. I don't know. I would still get my tree from my guy, but only the difference is the government has better product, I would say, as far as like edibles and your candies and your whatever else. You know what I mean?
But then we just talked about this not too long ago too. The government is also thinking about lowering the THC that's in your marijuana. So that government product might end up not being so potent anymore. So what happens when, we just talked about this before the show, what happens when the weed you buy
can't smoke that Zaza no more?
It's not the fire that you're used to.
You can't smoke that.
Right.
That I got some shit to do. You can't smoke that no more. You gotta smoke that regular weed.
You know? And what if the regular weed isn't the good stuff? So I think it kind of also comes down to what kind of buyer you are. I'm
a connoisseur, I call myself, of the marijuana. You know what I mean? But I say it's weird because even that, how are you lowering the THC? Okay, this is what I'm saying. That's a plant, right?
They would have to process it, and
you're doing something to it. You feel me?
Yeah, it's not like process
alcohol.
it, and
where alcohol you can lower the content of,
but they had to process it, and
tell me that's like this, right? That's as weird as that what's that they had out back, that grapple that have grape and apple, that it was a man-made thing.
I don't remember.
An apple that tastes like grape, or it was some weird thing, but it was made in the lab and they sold it in the store for a while. People were doing that, and I'm like, man, what are you doing? So yes, I would be scared to buy the specific tree.
If it's going to be modified, and they're actually talking about lowering and regulating the THC.
What's even stupid about that specific thing is like this: like when you go to a dispensary, they should be able to tell you, "Hey, this is really, really strong. This is a medium. This is low, and this is just get your appetite up or make you go to sleep." They should have that because when you go to the liquor store, they have whiskey over here, beer, and bourbon over here, and vodka over here. They have it sectioned off, so you know what I mean. You know your flavor, neighbor. So it's weird.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty complex issue.
But the next question we want to talk about, the next topic, I should say. Do you think that this will lead to people doing harder drugs, quote unquote, harder or worse drugs?
I don't.
Or is it out of hand right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't like that saying because myself, I don't smoke, your boy AT here, I don't smoke weed anymore. But let me tell you something. When I used to smoke weed, I didn't want nothing harder than weed. I never wanted to try harder drugs. Some people do. If you do, that's your prerogative. But it takes a certain curiosity to want to know, how does cocaine hit? How does heroin? I never wanted that. Ever. The most potent thing I've ever done was weed. But so I kind of think that's bullshit. But they say it leads to it's a gateway drug. It never gatewayed me.
He said I stayed at the front door. I didn't even leave a yard, man.
It never opened up for me.
I didn't leave a yard. Right. So what you mean?
And then here in Ohio with all the drugs here. I mean, I don't want to put the Buckeye State on blast like that. But it is what it is. Like, how dare you be so obsessed with marijuana when you got fentanyl that's killing people?
Yeah.
Crack is made to come back like.
Heroin has came back like never before.
Right. I mean, it came back like it never left, right? Like, heroin, crack, all that shit.
And the crazy thing.
Yeah, so marijuana is, I think, the least of it.
The crazy thing about that, I heard
marijuana cough. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public this is a public service announcement for Mary Jane.
But that's like, hey man, you got to cough to get off is what I was told.
I never heard that. In all of my years, y'all, I never heard you got to cough to get off.
You know what I mean?
You got to clear those capillaries and you got to get the lungs. You got to get the lungs.
Breathe it in. You know what I mean? Breathe it in. You doing it? This is what you're doing it for. You understand me?
If you ain't coughing, you ain't got no good.
Yeah, he's smoking cigarettes. He's smoking cigarettes. He's smoking that waterbed stuff. You know what I'm talking about? That genetically modified.
Right.
Somebody did that in 8th grade experiment.
Your science class.
Your science class project. What the hell? But
this is that PG-13 weed.
What? I need some rated R. So what the hell? But the funny thing about like is saying about leading to harder drugs. Like,
yeah.
I think it's either Washington State or Oregon or Portland, one of the cities. But I heard on the news, and a dude told me this. Drugs are legal. Like it's no illegal drug out in this. I think it's Portland, but it's like literally like you can do heroin in the middle of the street.
Oh shit!
Coke but it's like you won't get arrested for. I'm not the dealers. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about like the people that are using.
Oh, okay.
Like they don't have like they were like pass out needles type shit. And I'm like, you know what? They said the crime goes down.
But then the overdose deaths go up.
Whatever. I'm saying like this, right?
Yeah, it's
like this, right?
It's like the crime goes down, but everybody's so fucked up that
I mean, it's like this.
The predictability of overdosing is very high.
At that rate, you look at it like this though. The people are already overdosing. I mean, it sounds true as hell. It sounds true, but it's but what do you do at that point? You know?
Yeah, because it's really. There should be some kind of public safety. You know what I mean? There should be. Like I wouldn't want to see somebody standing out front of my house injecting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not to say that I'm better than you, but like get that shit out of here because it's an issue of public safety. They could have AIDS, they could have hepatitis.
Yeah.
You drop a dirty needle, you know.
Yeah,
But those kind of cities actually have higher rates of overdosing. But yeah, these are things that we really have to talk about. You know what I mean? Because it can lead to a lot of mishaps in society.
I'm saying that the crazy thing of like I said, like it sounds weird, but even here in Columbus, on the west side, they hand out Suboxones. That's for people who are addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
Just like it's kind of the same thing, you know.
Just like here in Licking County, at one point they were. Once again, going back to public safety and health and stuff like that, there was a lady out here who was giving out syringes because I guess she felt like if you're going to shoot up, you know, at least be clean with it, be safe with it.
Yeah.
But once again, you know, addressing the elephant, once again, I have to look that big ass, huge, big, smelly ass elephant in his eye and say this, that 40 years ago, if you got caught with a needle, that was drug paraphernalia. You went to prison.
Yeah.
If you got even the tourniquet, that band that you use to get the vein up and shit, if you got caught with that stuff, that was drug paraphernalia, right? But it's so bad that they're giving out needles and giving out things.
It was funny. It was
because they want to make. They say their rationale behind it is if you're going to do it, I guess be safe doing it.
But here's the funny thing about that. It's almost not even an adjusting the elephant. To me, it's always been a bit of a conundrum before weed has been legal. Is you can go in for years. We can go into a store and buy Philly Blunts, Swishers, White Owls, whatever sales they got out now. Mm-hmm. Right now, matter of fact, you can even right now just go and get a blunt wrap.
Yeah, paper.
No, a blunt wrap.
Okay.
It's called a blunt wrap. No tobacco in it.
What do you think you're gonna use that for?
You feel me? Yeah, I roll my own cigars. Shut the.
Yeah,
I roll my own cigars too.
Do you think
smoking one right now?
Yeah. Do you think this is kind of like it's kind of leading into that?
So it's like, is it the same thing? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're selling me a wrap. But you know I'm going to roll weed in there.
You know what I'm doing with this?
Yeah. If a cop stopped me with that on me, you know. They can't be suspicious because they know what I'm going to use it for, right? Like
I've been in stores where I've actually bought blunts. I mean, I don't buy shells now. I wrote on Raw papers. Shout out to Raw. Shout out to Raw. I'm gonna say it one more time. Shout out to Raw. Those are them papers. But I remember growing up, like back earlier, growing up, but earlier in life, whatever. when I was younger, been in the store buying blunt shells, and cops would say like, be in the store and kind of look at me like, I know what you're gonna do with that.
Right?
Like what? Nah, I'm gonna smoke this myself. You know
Just
what I'm saying?
you were schooling me on the whole thing about the bongs and stuff, bowls. You can buy that stuff
legally.
But what do the law think you're gonna do with that stuff? Like, of course you're gonna use it. I never know nobody who had a bong who put tobacco in it and smoked tobacco out of a bong. I never known anybody.
Like
no one.
Like Jamal on How High. Duh, it's a lamp.
Or something. Right.
Duh, mom, it's a lamp.
So,
but I'm saying it's
so I wonder, like, now when the government stepping in, will all of that stuff, bongs, bowls, peace pipes, blah blah blah, will all of that just can be considered not so much weed paraphernalia, but just like products. Like these are marijuana products, like certified legally marijuana products. I've seen that word product quite a bit.
Well, see, and the thing about that, this is the product is coming back. And we was talking about the money thing, like with the cannabis, with them making cannabis legal, right? They have the Division of Cannabis Control. Like you see, and 100%, right? At 100% of it. First of all,
I'm gonna break down 36%.
First of all, you can own per household. You can own 12 plants, 2 adults, 6 plants per adult, right? But in the whole 100, you see, 36% is gonna be designated for social inequality, equity, and jobs programs. So it's estimated to make us $150 million per year selling weed. The government.
Yeah, this is what the government is proposing, y'all. Yeah. This is nothing is finalized yet, but this is what this out of 100%. This is how they plan on designating the money.
Another 36% will go to communities that have dispensaries. Another 25% will go to education and addiction treatment programs.
I like that. Hopefully they follow through with that.
And that little 3%
is going to go to the administrative costs.
Now here's what's funny about that. That 25%, I think, should be a little more than that.
You think? Because addiction is a monster.
Because somebody can have an addiction that's not weed, but just, as they say, the gateway, so they can't get their drugs, so they just want to go to the dispensary and get some weed because they can't get their drugs. Now they're going to get that weed to trade it for the drug they can get. I feel it. So I think that should go. I think that should be one on 36%. That's what I personally feel. You know what I mean? At 100%, that's what that's what Ohio is going to break down the percentage of for
the money that's made from marijuana sales.
Yeah,
right.
So I think that should be a little bit more as far as the program for the addiction. You know what I mean? Because addiction is already a thing right now.
It's so much of a thing. It's just, oh my God. It's so much of a point of a conversation.
And it's like what's really to be brought up about it is like the uses of it, like with hemp and cannabis, hemp, weed, whatever you want to call it. Smoking weed, for one, I'm gonna say, like, for me, smoking weed, it helps me be a little more sociable. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who smokes some weed and to get a little more sociable. But some people might need it for like appetite or they might have pains or you know what I mean, or sleeping problems or
so there's different uses, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, so when you think about weed in itself, it got a bad stigma, but shit, some people actually need it for actual health reasons.
Cause see, that's my thing. Like I'm against, like, I won't say I'm against, I don't smoke weed personally, but I let people do whatever they do. Yeah, but like me personally, I'm a proponent of marijuana. I don't use it particularly, but I am for the legalization of it. Yeah. But the thing I'm the biggest on is decriminalizing and destigmatizing, because marijuana does have, it does have some health benefits, right? Definitely. When you talk about hemp and things like that, we just pointed out, hemp has everyday uses, right? And there's certain health benefits that come from it. Like per article from Harvard Health Publishing, from the Harvard Medicine School, animal studies and research in humans suggest that, like, the CBD could reduce anxiety, insomnia, chronic pains, and inflammation due to arthritis. It could possibly lower the craving that leads to certain addictions, And that's aside from, making clothes and things like that.
The funny thing about that, the CBD, my dog, he passed last year, but he was 15, going on 15, 16 somewhere. But he wasn't walking, eating, or nothing, right? So we went to go get some CBD for him. And people looked at us kind of weird, like, what? You trying to get your dog high? Like, no, my dog is like old, he can't walk. He basically, like, if we don't give him this, he's going to die tomorrow. Type deal. We gave him the CBD.
Now, this is an actual four-legged friend dog.
My dog, yeah, my actual dog, my American bully, my American bulldog. I'm a homie.
Yeah, because
that's my you know, Max voice out here. I'm talking
you have
about.
to really specify that because you got your dog, you got your home boy,
listen,
you got your actual four-legged friend. Yeah,
this is my dog, not my dog. You feel me? It's a difference. This is my dog, not my dog.
Okay, I thought we just kind of like clear that up.
All the originals out there. For all the originals.
All right, any kind of confusion, we'll clear it up. But your actual,
we gave him the CBD.
Your dog, your canine.
And yeah, my canine. He, like I say, about a day and a half later, he got back up walking, eating, and I'm not lying to you. Us giving him that CBD prolonged his life for another 2 years, almost 3 years. Like he just passed last year.
Yeah, I remember.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm for that because I've seen what CBD can do.
Right, and it's not as like so. My thing with Ohio here in the Buckeye State, it's not it's not as destructive as your heroin. You give somebody heroin, they'll die. You give too much. You give a dog a heroin and see what happens.
Yeah,
fentanyl, a little bit of fentanyl can just take you right out.
You can touch it and die.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like we have far more pressing drugs in this state to worry about than just marijuana.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's my thing. So, but first we have to decriminalize, like I said, destigmatize. There's a lot of stigma too, where people think, oh, it's the worst thing you can do. It is not. You know, marijuana is natural. You know, this shit grows. This shit's been here before us.
Man,
you know? Right. So
the natives are smoking this.
But cocaine, crack. You know, if you really want to end your life, go that route. Opioid addictions, go that route. But leave marijuana alone. So we just need to change our minds.
Yeah,
I never heard of anyone overdosing from some chronic. I never heard someone, I never heard of that.
Cat Williams said it best. You might think you did. He ain't dead.
He ain't dead. His ass just laying there, zoned out.
Eat up everything in your house off this motherfucker. I mean, if you can, any originals out there, if you can find one specific weed-related death, put that motherfucker on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud.
Yeah, but you can't count the number of like overdoses, pill over. It's innumerable, just about.
Unless that
heroin, that had to be some crazy ass.
Unless he put some heroin in that weed
or something, and he laced it. Now some people do lace, right?
No, I'm talking about straight.
Just regular plant. I never heard it happening.
If you see a person OD, if you know somebody OD'd and died from smoking too many blunts, too many bombs,
put their name in the comment, and we would give them a farewell. We would
give them their flowers, and I will Google it to make sure you ain't bullshitting, because that is.
It's just I never heard of it.
Listen, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than actually dying, unless you're allergic to weed.
Or you have an allergy or some kind of, or maybe your heart is so weak that it's like 2 beats from dying. And a healthy
human being
smoking a joint too much. I never heard of that.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
See, and that goes to our next thing though. Anyway, smoking will it be legal in public places now that it's legal in Ohio? Do you think that's going to be a thing?
Now, at one point, they were saying, now this comes from the bigwigs and the people up top. At one point, they wanted smoking in public places, but our governor here in Ohio, Mike DeWine, wants to put a permanent ban on it. So you got this push and pull kind of dynamic. Some people want it to be, you can smoke in public, but then some people don't.
Well, here's how I feel about that. My specific opinion as what they call a pothead.
Stop
that. It should be handled like cigarette smoking. You shouldn't be able, like, if you go to a place and say you don't smoke, right? And you go to a bar and you go to the patio and they're smoking on the patio. You know they're going to smoke on the patio because
it's kind of outdoors and it's ventilated and it's air.
So you expect that. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
you can't do it indoors, of course. You can do it outdoors.
None of this law has passed, and you know it's a place that allows smoking, and you don't want to smell weed smoke, don't go to that place then. I'm sorry, it might be one of your favorite places, and if it is one of your favorite places and it is weed smoke, you ain't got to go on the patio. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
So at some point, there has to be some kind of common sense from just the regular person going into that situation, going to that bar, that club, that that allows smoke. If you don't want to be around that stuff,
I'm saying like this.
Maybe you shouldn't go.
That's like this right now.
I can see the logic in that.
Like we were saying, like I was just saying about like Portland or whatever it was, or Seattle or whatever. In that say we was in that city, and we go to a bar and they're shooting heroin in the back, and you happen to go out there, hey, cuz they shooting heroin, I want to be here. You know what? Let's go, cuz I don't shoot heroin, you don't shoot heroin, we shouldn't be here. Correct? Now you go out there in the patio and you like, hey, cuz they got some blunts burning. Where they at? Cuz I'm gonna smoke that blunt. You don't smoke, but I smoke.
Yeah, so you can go right. Like, yeah, at some point you got to be responsible for your own juice. You know what I mean?
That's how I look at it. So smoking in public place, and even I don't even see why that's such a big deal, because we have Comfest in Columbus every year.
And they allow marijuana. It's been doing that for a long time.
I've walked past cops with joints like this, like blowing. They just, how you doing today?
Yeah.
How you doing, sir? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? As long as inside that park, it was good.
Accepted, right? In that public setting. So
it's like, why can't it be handled the same way? Maybe some bar, because it was, I guess, when the law just passed, I was saying on the news, when this law just passed, it was a bar, I think in Italian Village, and it was called Fired Out Friday or something. They let all the patrons smoke weed on the patio.
Okay.
Their bar, their rules.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That could be that. If it's your bar and if you got a bar or a dive or a restaurant,
Wednesday's weed night.
You feel me? Wu-Tang Wednesday weed night. Out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We gonna go green out this motherfucker. Smoking Saturdays out this motherfucker. You feel me? Like,
but speaking about what's going on out in Portland, though, Portland has a new nickname, y'all. It's called Potland, Oregon. This is the promised land of pot.
I want to go there.
It recently beat out Denver, and it has apparently it has the best and most affordable weed and plenty of dispensaries to buy the weed. Now, some people still think that California has the best weed. I mean, California is such a large state, and there's so many crops and fields. But they say Portland, Oregon, as a city, Portland got it. Now, I can't talk much about the other drugs they allow in Portland, like the hard shit. That sounds crazy, but
what I'm gonna say is this.
They're gonna do what they want to do in Portland anyway.
Shout out to that. What I'm gonna say is this: we get, as Ohio, we get counted out. You said Portland and Potland and California, but you again, originals listening to this show, you think I'm bullshitting? Google it or check it out. Meigs County, Ohio.
You was telling me about that.
Has been on the cover of High Times magazine multiple times for some of the best weed in the world. I'm gonna say that again, because High Times is that magazine, the best weed in the world. But they put it on their cover, like the weed cup, that weed cup. If you're like Humboldt County has been on there multiple times. Well, so is Meigs County, Ohio. So for some of the best weed, so we should be in that
argument of who has some of the best.
Because if High Times is pretty prestigious, brand.
Absolutely. That's the I used to read that back in the 90s.
That ain't just
a Snorters magazine.
That ain't Joe Schmo who smoked some JoJo. You understand me?
So check out, what is it?
Meigs County in Ohio.
How you spell it? MEGS or
MEIGS, I believe.
Okay.
Google it. All my originals out there, all the originals out there, man. Check it out, man. We got some good weed out here in Ohio. So like we said earlier, this has been long overdue, man. So yeah, OHIO, we need it. You need it, man. We need it.
Now, also too, like, what do you guys out there in smokers land? What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer those edibles that are going around? I haven't tried any of these, but I've been hearing a lot of stuff about the CBD stuff. The edibles, do you prefer that, the extracts, or just the classic plant? Like me, I have a history with the plant, because the herb, that's the most truest form. But I heard those edibles and extracts aren't no joke.
Listen, let me tell you something about your boy AT. Just throw back story. Used to get little cuz here, please. Do you understand me?
I was the one that put you on to it.
Cuz had me over there rolling Philly blunts. Like, I think I learned how to roll a blunt fucking with your ass. I think this is in a red, man. That's how we roll a blunt. That's how we roll a blunt.
Blunts and swishers. Oh yeah.
But let me tell you something, man. You know why? If cuz did smoke weed right now, I would know that's true that he is still a tree. He loved the trees.
Yeah, it's always the trees. It was always
that's an OG thing right there for you youngins out there. I mean, and you know what? I can't talk because I love the tree.
Too? Okay.
I love the edibles. I love the extracts. Like I got some wax upstairs. Matter of fact, I got some dabs upstairs. I got my little dab pen. I got some actual dab. You know what I mean? I got edibles. I'm smoking.
How was your appetite with the edibles? Do you still feel hungry?
See, okay, this is the difference. A lot of people don't understand because some people when they do the edibles or the extracts or the plants, different, but like I was just playing the Queen. Difference is this: like my black homies who I buy a tree from. It's good quality green. I'm like, yo, what is it? They're like, it's Dro, it's that. And it's not even what they're saying. But then I go to my white friends, and they're like, what is this? Oh, this that lemon G, or this that strawberry cough. This is real strains of weed. So I know what to do. So I can look it up, and I can say, oh, that's a sativa, that's an indica. So I know if I'm smoking, I'm going to either be sleepy, or I'm going to be able to be moving.
Yeah, when you really know.
If I have shit to do, I don't want to smoke some indica because I'm going to be tired.
Once again, it goes back to you, how you regulate yourself.
You know how, I self-medicate. Yeah, I smoke hella weed, guys. I smoke hella weed. I also know what I'm doing when I'm smoking that.
Yeah, you know what makes you sleepy. Okay, that makes sense. You know what makes you hungry.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean. So but my appetite, for the most part, all of them across the board is pretty healthy on it. But the edibles to me is a better high because it's a body high.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? It's like more relaxing.
I never heard that. The edibles?
Yeah, because it's actually got to think about when you eat it, or I think they have like drinks now. But
how you ingest it, how it goes
into your bloodstream. So it gives you that relaxation. Like, you know what, I'm good. I'm almost to some point where you feel almost like lethargic. Like, I don't want to move. I just want to lay here.
Really? Okay, wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta on something like this. If you know you don't have nothing to do,
then you want to eat an
edible. You want to eat that edible. Don't eat the whole thing. Listen.
You know, I'm going to say, how much do you recommend?
Listen, moderate yourself now.
As an OG, what do you recommend?
As an OG, moderate yourself, because even as an OG, I've made the mistake of eating too many and
you kind of being
down for can't move and don't want to move. I can move, but don't want to move. But so what you should do is this: if you never ate an edible, and say you get like a nice chunk, right? Like say like you got the size of a Starburst. You got 2 of those. For a person who's never ate an edible, I would recommend either cutting that one little piece.
That's what somebody was telling me.
Cutting that one little square into a half a piece, see how it feels. If you don't feel like too bad, eat the other half. But don't eat the whole joint, because you eat the whole joint, you're going to be laid out, probably crying your face off about nothing. And then you're going to just be a laughingstock of all your homies. And I mean, you don't want, it's just not nothing you want to do for your life. So I personally recommend, as an OG, just dose yourself out. Because what's crazy is this: I've even microdosed myself on shrooms before. But I've over back in the day. Me and my homies ate way too much, and I'm talking about, bro, I melted. I started crying for no reason. I wasn't sad. I was just talking and started bawling, like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? And my dudes laughing at me. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Wasn't mad or sad. I was just, they took the control. You know what I mean? I didn't lose my mind or nothing.
You just didn't know how much to consume.
I just know we both just, coming from Coshocton to Columbus, we just ate them. And I don't even know why.
That effect just
and just was gone. Now that I know, so now you give me the same amount, I'm like, yo, I might eat 2 here and just see how I feel. And if I feel a little bit, you know what I mean? Same thing with weed. If you give me some weed, you're like, yo, this is real strong weed. And okay, I'll smoke that before I go to bed. This ain't that strong. I can smoke that and go to the store and or go out to eat. You know what I mean? It's different. It's different. You gotta know, for what it's worth, with the dispensaries, how I look at it, the good thing about that is if you go in there and the people know what they're talking about,
they would give you what you're looking for. Right.
If your toe hurt, you know what I mean? If your ear ringing, if you can't sleep, your fart smell funny, whatever. You know?
Your energy, your stamina, whatever is low,
that's what I like about the dispensaries, besides having a personal dealer. But on the same note, the personal dealer, that little taxation is not going to be a thing. You see what I'm saying? They ain't gonna, my homie ain't gonna tax me 15% because I bought the bag. Yo, I bought a 20 bag for my homie. I want a 20 bag. It ain't gonna be that 20 plus. No, 20 plus
the 15%.
20 54. What? I ain't bring 54 cents, bro. I bought $20. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference of the two. But even speaking of the personal dealers, it's been a lot of people who have been unjustly, as we say, locked up for being said medical dealers, street pharmaceuticals. The homie around the way, my man's in them.
I got my education from Oakwood University.
You feel me?
On the corner of
I'm
Wilson
cum laude. Summa cum laude of the School of Hard Knocks.
Got shot 2 times.
I mean, hey, that's trademark. Don't steal that. That's trademark. Summa cum laude. School of Hard Knocks. Trademark.
But yeah, but that's the truth though. You know, many years I've known guys, you know, who had gotten records from possession, you know, and now they're looking at this more carefully, you know.
So we're going to address the elephant with that right there specifically. Do you feel like it's wrong that the people who have been locked up for that or haven't had their records expunged without, because I feel like this, before I say that, I feel like they should expunge without even asking. They should expunge those records. If it's not a violent crime, you just sold weed and got busted for selling weed, they should expunge it.
A lot
they should do that?
A lot of that stuff though was, you know, unfortunately, once again, I hate to look that big ass elephant in the room and just tell her the truth. A lot of that stuff affected certain segments of society and people in certain segments. Of course, you know, poor people or people in the hood, they got affected far more than people on a mountaintop. I just think that a lot of that stuff targeted certain.
Okay, what he's saying is this:
certain people of color, certain people of social status, certain people of class. I think a lot of that stuff was harshly put in place.
Okay, we addressing
to imprison them.
Listen, we addressing that elephant. We talking all nice and shit. Addressing the elephant. He's saying if you grew up on Main and Main Street, Livingston Ave,
on Carpenter,
Cleveland Avenue, and you got caught with weed, you went to jail. But if you got caught with weed in Dublin,
I just wonder how
you got slapped on your hand.
Yeah, how different was that?
That's what he's saying, you know? Original. That's what he's saying.
If I got caught with, you know, more than 2.5 ounces and somebody else up in the hills and the suburban areas got caught with the same thing, who got criminalized? You can put your chips on me.
Your black ass.
Yeah, because that's typically how it's been. But now we have to look at that stuff.
Now we got to look at it for what it is.
Right, because some of these people I knew who, you know, got records and stuff and arrested for that stuff, as far as I knew, they didn't have the intent to distribute. That was their personal shit. So you treat me like a criminal for having just my own person. It'd be different if you was caught with kilos of marijuana. That's different.
No, because
2 kilos, you'd be like, okay, this motherfucker might be distributing.
Listen,
unless you smoke 2 kilos.
No, listen. I'm gonna keep it real.
At least you can smoke 2 kilos of marijuana.
And said, yo, because I got 2 kilos of weed and I don't want it no more. I'm not trying to sell weed. I'm good. I'm gonna smoke this shit. I'm probably gonna cook some weed, make some brownies. 2 kilos of weed. I'm gonna do a lot of. I'm not even.
You wouldn't sell a penny of that? You wouldn't. It's kind of hard for me to believe because you can have that much marijuana.
Listen to me.
At least one.
To all my originals out there.
That's a lot of weed.
Since we are addressing the elephant and cuz called me on some bullshit.
First of all, if you caught me with 2 kilos, you gotta ask, how the hell did you get 2 kilos of weed?
Mind your fucking business is what I'ma say, motherfucker.
But I mean, you know, I guess I can see your point saying like maybe if you caught me in the act of distributing,
there we go.
Yeah, if you caught maybe you catch somebody in the act. If you just got it, then you open it up to like presumption, right?
There it is.
Yeah, you presume that I am.
There it is.
But that's how the law looks at it. It looks at it from those lenses. He has it, so that means he must be. But you don't know for sure. That could be somebody's shit. They could just store it in their closet for 15 years and just have a ton of marijuana to smoke. But the law don't look at it like that.
It's almost the equivalent like this. That 2 kilos of marijuana is close to like you having like a couple of cartons of fucking liquor in the back of your truck because you got a bar, you having a party tomorrow. Almost the equivalent of that. The cop pulled you over with that amount of liquor in your car.
He or she's gonna automatically assume, they're gonna say, where you got it from? Is it part of a drug ring? You was meant to distribute it, or you was intended, and that's what a lot of.
But hold on. We'll get back to the question. I guess I gotta address that elephant because of that. Would I sell it? I might sell it too.
Distributor. I just say that's just a lot. But that's just
when I say sell it, I mean like I'll give it to you as a gift.
The gift that keeps giving.
The gift that keeps giving. Pass, puff, pass, motherfucker. Nah, I'm just bullshit.
But going back to it, that's why I kind of always felt like a lot of those drug charges just hit certain people in society harder than others. And you know, if you have felony arrest records for drugs or whatnot, good luck finding a reputable job, right? So then you wonder why people, without jobs, without any legal form of money, you wonder why people do some of the illegal things that they do.
It pushes them into that
lifestyle. Like I think the guys I knew who grew up, you know, or when I was a teenager that was selling drugs, I know these guys. I think like part of me feels like if it were up to them, they would not have sold drugs, but they were put in certain situations to sell drugs. I knew guys who sold the shit. They weren't living like big time drug dealers with huge, 20-pound chains on.
Another Frank Lucas out this motherfucker.
I remember dudes that used to sell drugs and shit to put clothes and stuff on their kids' backs. But unfortunately, they had records, so they couldn't get jobs.
And you know what?
I could get the jobs because I never had one of those arrests, but they couldn't. But the guys I knew, these some of the guys I grew up with, they weren't bad dudes. I think they were just put in a situation.
But even
with those possession charges and shit, they were just put in a situation. But then once again, we have to, like I said earlier, decriminalize and destigmatize.
Yeah.
Just because you smoke some little weed doesn't make you a bad person
at all. Just
because if you smoke a lot of weed doesn't make you a bad person. I consider a bad person if you robbing banks, raping people, shooting people.
I can't really say a bank robber is a bad person because that bank robber might be trying to feed his family. You don't really. I
don't want to judge anybody.
I can't really say that. But now if you out here just like stabbing and murdering people for no reason, you're a bad person.
Yeah,
that's bad people.
But then, once again, what I'm trying to say is, if you are out robbing banks, we have to look at the system which makes you do these things. I think that's what we have to do with the petty drug charges or even the bigger drug charges. We have to look at the situation that put these people in those
places.
Yes, that's what I'm critical of.
Yeah, I feel that. I did that. That's
you got right now you have people with these mental illnesses and shit, and they go shoot up whole places full of people, events and festivals and stuff, and then we blame the person. It's like, the person did have the gun, but I'm pretty sure behind that person there were other things at play. Maybe there was untreated mental illnesses. There was things. Yeah, we have to look at the whole social bubble.
See, their state should have passed the weed law.
You'd probably be so mellow you wouldn't be thinking about.
He wouldn't shot nobody.
So
I'm not trying to make light of it, but I'm gonna say like this, real.
We have to look at the things behind what goes on.
I'm gonna say some real shit too. I'm not trying to make light of any of that because RIP didn't.
We're not absolutely. Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say, I say that to say this. It's been times where I've been high and shit that would have made me lose my marbles. Shit that would have made me lose my marbles before.
Kind of mellowed you out a little bit.
Kind of mellowed me up because I was high. I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? At the same time. So I say that to say this. Sometimes when you high, you just got that fuck, like Cat Williams said it, you got that fuck it. Like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I'll do it tomorrow. It ain't that important. I get that, where they say like potheads have that lack of motivation. That happens. But see, what's fucked up is I also have that lack of motivation without being high sometimes. Sometimes I'll be sitting here not even high and be like, you know what, I don't want to do shit. Not high at all. I just don't want to do shit. So it's like, I ain't smoked nothing all day. I just don't want to do shit. So it's like, you know what I mean? Then it's also been times where I don't smoke weed and I'm like, damn, where I didn't want to do shit sober, I smoked that blunt and I'm like, damn, let's go do something. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's different, man. It's different. Yeah,
we just have to look at a lot of, it's going to be a complex situation here coming up. So also we want to kind of wrap this up because we don't want to talk you guys' ears off.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely want to thank y'all for joining us for this episode.
Yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed it. What is your before we leave? What is your favorite kind of weed? If you have anything you want to put in the comments or whatever down the bottom.
Strain. What's your favorite strain?
Right,
What's your favorite edible? What's the favorite story you had when you was high? What was the last time you smoked? If you don't smoke no more, what was your favorite high movie? Friday, Half Baked. What else, man? What else?
Yeah, but you don't want to give us too much information because we don't know who's looking at that.
Listen, don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah, don't incriminate yourself. We don't want to look at your YouTube page, or we don't want nobody to be like, oh, okay, this person.
Okay, listen. To all the originals, because we're not trying to get nobody in trouble. So what we're gonna do is this. And in the comments, you go ahead and just say, I had a friend this one time, and start the story from there. But somebody I know,
who I used to know,
whatever Friday movie's your favorite
movie, know somebody who I knew.
So. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you talk about. You know what I'm saying? Don't incriminate yourself no way. But all the originals have been fucking with us from day one. But leave them comments about this episode if you love this episode. If you like this episode,
subscribe, do what you do.
Man. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, man. Subscribe on YouTube, man. Subscribe on YouTube. Like on Facebook. Like on Facebook. Like on SoundCloud, man. Fucking with us. Thanks for fucking with us. AKA the originators. AKA
the originators.
AKA the motherfucking. AKA the motherfucking the favorite pack of rolling papers. That's what we is. Yeah, the originators. We out.
We like those high ass uncles that sit on your porch in the summertime. and tell stories about long time past and
like, listen here. You know what? I like to call this show the show, your favorite show about nothing that'll leave you feeling nostalgic. That's what I like to say about this show right here. This is the originators. That's what we do, man. We having fun out here. Right. Also, stay tuned for the next episode because we're gonna do that special Christmas Kwanzaa holiday episode.
Right.
So we're gonna give y'all 2 episodes this month, man. So we're gonna push them in, get them in. But
make sure
next year coming up, man, we're gonna have some different stuff.
Oh, no doubt. We have some stuff in the works. Right. We constantly building, trying to incorporate, but we'll let that surprise kind of play itself out, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But we just want you guys to be responsible out there. Be safe. If you're gonna smoke weed and stuff like that, do what you do, but just be mindful of what you do. Right,
man. Do what you do, but do it safe, man.
Right. Because we want you guys to tune in for the next episode.
Yeah, we want y'all to be here for the next episode, man. And one after that, and the one after that.
You don't want no obituaries or nothing like that.
So be cool, and be you.
So for your boy here, Big AT from out east,
and your boy D Smith, aka Fuck D Smith. We the originators.
The originators.
Originators.
Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do. Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do. Don't give a fuck about what they say, fuck about what they do.